Today we are going to explore the good and the bad of Sudan. Even though Sudan is very rich in history and culture, which makes it very challenging to live in Sudan. The petroleum industry fueled nearly 95% of the country's exports and was one of the largest areas of unemployment, shrinking 2.3% in 2018. The economy has been in a downward spiral as 47% of the population lives below the poverty line, and Sudan has the world's second highest rate of inflation. Now, Sudan is under a lot of hardships, and in places like Darfur, parts of Khartoum, and Kordofan, where civilians face indiscriminate attacks, shelling, ground fighting, and targeted violence, including widespread sexual violence, homes, hospitals, and schools are destroyed or occupied. Also, there is senses of extreme insecurity, which gives fear of insecurity that are constant companions with armed combatants occupy home and infrastructure. Famine conditions which severely restrict access to food or makes food non-existent. Food prices are triple per conflict levels in some areas. Non-existent services like healthcare that is virtually non-functional, with over 80% of hospitals in conflict zones destroyed or closed. Education is non-existent, with 90% of school-aged children out of school. Forced displacement, where violence drives millions from their homes, leading to the world's largest displacement crisis. Many are displaced multiple times and live in overcrowded camps or makeshift shelters with limited protection from the elements. A lot of Sudanese are suffering from heightened anxiety and hopelessness and exhaustion due to the ongoing conditions in Sudan. Constant financial instability, food insecurity, and a worry of being able to provide for one's family causes immense stress, anxiety, and depression, and the ongoing struggle and the depletion of resources can lead to widespread feelings of exhaustion, frustration, and hopelessness, even in areas where the sounds of conflict have diminished. Roughly 70% of the nation's 39.5 million people live in rural areas where the government is unable to provide the most basics of services. Clean water, food, and adequate sanitation are scarce in these regions, and only 22% of rural residents have access to electricity. At 20%, rural unemployment in Sudan is almost twice as high as the national average, while the poverty rate jumps to 58% outside of urban areas. When it comes to the Sudanese health, the government has doubled the health care budget, allocating 6.6% of its GDP towards health expenditures, with only 5.5 doctors per 10,000 people. Hospitals across the country are often overwhelmed. Despite much of the population residing in rural areas, most hospitals are in Sudan's urban centers, and nearly two-thirds of the country's doctors worked in the capital, Khartoum. Malaria, yellow fever, and diarrhea are common throughout the country, especially in conflict-afflicted areas that lack public health initiatives and adequate medical supplies. With all this going on, there's still some brightness within, with places like Khartoum, Al Jazeera, and Sennar states that has been a gradual, albeit fragile, stabilization. Markets are cautiously reopening, some commercial and humanitarian supplies are more accessible, and limited economic activities is resuming, offering glimmers of hope and a return to some semblance of normalcy for a few. In more stable regions like Port Sudan, schools have reopened. Organizations are working to provide essential school supplies, uniforms, and backpacks to children so they can return to learning and regain a sense of structure and hope for the future. The agricultural sector, crucial to the country's food security, continues to operate in more peaceful regions, providing some food stability for local communities. Sudanese. Despite facing immense personal hardships and loss, Sudanese people continue to exhibit remarkable generosity and support for one another. Let me hear your thoughts on this, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This has been Lindsay signing off. Peace.